Ah, yeah, see, I was smart enough to point it somewhere that didn't show off how dirty my room was. Hi, it's me, Marcus, aka Tenzin, about to start the second part of the double header in a minute. We should be talking to Aquarius Taught Me. Now, I'm gonna get something off my chest a little bit, okay? Last week we had a guest named Black Majesty, and she was a very dope guest. However, she said something that kind of didn't sit well with me. It was my brother asked her, and this isn't like a debate against her beliefs in Sebi or not, but he asked her about you know how she would defend against I guess the naysayers of Dr. Sebi, right? And it was just this argument that I had a problem with. She said basically like, well, Dr. Phil exists and people support him, so why not Sebi? Which that's kind of weak sauce because it's like just because one charlatan exists, like there's got to be like you got to support another one, and like what sense does that make? And secondly, Phil McGraw actually has a doctorate in psychology. So unlike Sevi, Phil McGraw earned the title of doctor. So that's what I wanted to just clear up with that one. Okay, but nothing against her or anything. Just this just a weak argument. I don't like hearing weak arguments, and as a host of a platform, I feel morally obligated to make sure my audience gets accurate information, and also like if I hear a weak argument, like I have to shut it down. So that's all I wanted to say. No disrespect to Black Majesty, she was awesome, but I just did not like that part of it. Now, Aquarius Taught Me is in the building. I'm trying to figure out how to send him a request. Mm-mm-mm-mm. Okay. How do I? Ah, dang. Oh. I'm gonna pin him in the comments. Hey, Aquarius Taught Me. If you can just send a request to me. I'm trying to figure out how to send it to you, but all right. But anyway, our next guest, Aquarius Taught Me, is a cosplayer, and he does film, martial arts too. I guess. I mean, I never seen him fight before, so I'm gonna have to. Hey, Keenan,
What up, broski?
aka Aquarius Taught Me. I'm an Aquarius too, but you see, I'm a January Aquarius, so I heard we're mean and you guys are nice. Is that true? Like, do you follow
Hey, I don't know too much about that one.
that?
Most of the people that I know that's on that kind of Aquarius, Capricorn. I think Capricorn is January, right?
Yeah. No, no,
Yeah.
but yeah, yeah. First half of January, then like after the 18th. Well, no, no, like starting January 20th, that's when the Aquarius shines.
Got you, got you.
Or that's
Yeah.
when the Rager starts. To all my Kid Cudi fans out there. You know what's sad? Like I know Kid Cudi is good. I just don't listen to him. You know what
Really?
I'm saying?
Why?
I he should be up my alley because I'm depressed, I'm stoner, and all that. But I don't know. It's like it's kind of like Tech Nine. It's just like those musicians that they're dope, but you just
Yeah.
don't be feeling like listening to them. You know what I mean?
So like with Cudi, like he's the type of artist to where if you listen to like his older stuff, like yeah, like he was going through some things, so there is like kind of that
But Man on the Moon
depression
1 was
angle to
dope
it.
as hell. That was a perfect album.
Bruh, perfect. Like I got a copy that's right in the room over here right now.
Yeah.
Um, but I would say like when it comes to Man on the Moon one, like you really got like depression, but you got a lot of magic and like artistry. Like that was like it's like you said, like it was the perfect album.
Yeah.
And then when it came to Men on the Moon 2, that was more of like the hard depression. Like that album was like really, really sad,
Mm.
but at the same time, it still had like that art aspect to
Right.
it.
And
And then after,
that's what I like
hmm,
about Cudi though. Like he doesn't cave in to
Yeah,
make like pop music. I mean, he might make like a radio hit, but it'll be his own way.
yeah.
So
Yeah, true that. His albums after Man on the Moon 2, I want to say they started with like Indica and WZRD, way more like enthusiastic, and like you could kind of tell like that he was at that aspect of his life to where it's like I'm still sad, but I'm not going to let it just get me down fully anymore. Like I'm gonna just still be out here and I'm gonna still try something new.
yeah,
Especially with
man.
UID, man. 'Cause, man, that album, like, that's really when, like, he was touching on, like, his rock side. Because, like, you
Yeah.
can, like, really date back to his mixtapes, and you can, like, very slightly see that he's, like, a huge rock fan. But you really saw it, I would say, between some of Indica and a lot of WZRD. Like, them two
Okay.
albums was just, like, his just outbranching, really.
All right, man. I'm gonna take your word for it, and I will check them out. But
Please.
good. But like
Please.
every we're the same age, so it's like you go to college, man. There's like this crossroad. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? You go down the Rager route, or you go down the OVO route. I took the OVO route. I mean, but
Damn.
but enough about them niggas. We're gonna talk about you. And unfortunately, and please forgive me. Like as I told you in the DMs, you can say
Mhm.
pass. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
If it's just something that you don't want to touch on.
yeah.
But please forgive me though. I'm gonna start off a little heavy.
Okay.
Recently,
Hmm.
your your big cousin, and my condolences to you. He
Thank
was unfortunately slain.
you. Hmm.
Mr. Thomas Jefferson Byrd.
Yes,
Were you
sir.
were you close to him?
I would say yes and no. Like it was that type of situation to where I just found out about him like a couple years ago.
Oh, okay.
So, and it wasn't any like family beef or any problem like that because all of my family is like really close as hell.
Yeah.
But it's just I have, and no exaggeration when I say this, I have a big ass family. And it's like that on not just my mom's side, which he was on, but it was on my dad's side too.
Okay.
So I knew of him, and they were putting me in contact with him because, of course, like
Yeah.
I work in media and I work in like film and stuff. But I was supposed to go and see him again last Christmas, but I was with my cousins. Um, I forgot what happened, but we ended up not going. And I really wanted to go because I wanted to nerd out with him.
Right.
And I was looking forward to it since I missed it last Christmas, then I was going to be able to do it this Christmas. And then of course, like we got that news and that just killed so many opportunities, like not just when it comes to my career basically, but like
Just
that
to
was
bond
family.
with a family member. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
So
again, like if I'm opening wounds, I'm sorry, but like, was it like? Did they ever give a motive to the guy? Like, was it just
um
some dusty shit? Like, was he just getting robbed? Like, what was it?
I don't like have too much information on it. The last thing that they confirmed was the main suspect, so I know who he is and I
You know
know
whose
what it
ass to
looks
beat
like.
now, so
Right? Now, I don't know this dude personally, like never seen him a day in my life. But yeah, that was like the very last thing. So I'm just waiting on like more information and stuff to pretty much come in. But yeah, I'm not sure what his motive was. Like it could have been something that like had to do with jealousy, or they just saw it as a means to like hit a quick lick. I'm not
Mm,
completely sure.
okay.
But either way, that was some fuck shit. So
Yeah, of course.
you know.
And thanks for discussing that. I just cause
Yeah,
when
man,
you
definitely.
posted it, I was like, whoa, he's related to him because I watched some Spike Lee. Who didn't watch Spike Lee movies? Even white people watch Spike Lee movies.
Of
So,
course. Of
but
course.
since we're on the subject of family, on you talk about your father a lot. So
Yeah, man, that's
would
one of my
you?
best friends.
So would you credit your dad for your nerdiness, man? Like your interest in comics and film and all that?
Yeah, I actually credit both of my parents, but more of him, because he was the reason why I got into comic books. I got into video games. I'm like heavy in science fiction. Like that was mainly because of him. Like he is one of the biggest Superman fans that I
Mhm.
know.
My
Like
little brother likes Superman, and I like Superman too, man. People give him too much hate.
right? And it's always the people who don't read Superman who
He's
they definitely give hate.
overpowered. It's like, shut the fuck up. It's not about the power.
Exactly. Like read his like stories and like just look at a lot of the conflicts that he has as a
Yeah.
superhero, because people always say, "Oh, well, he's overpowered, so he's not going to be that interesting." Tell that to somebody like Saitama. Like he's an overpowered character, but it depends on how you write him.
Yeah.
Same with Superman. He's an overpowered character. Like this nigga has carried a galaxy, or well, actually, excuse me, a solar system on his back.
Yeah.
Yes, that is an overpowered character, but it's the way that he's written that really, really matters. But
Right. And
he he's
hmm
he's he's the biggest Superman and Luke Cage. Like those
Luke.
like his top two superheroes.
Okay, so so like, does he have the Luke Cage comics? With the
Yeah.
headband. Oh, so he. Okay, that was back when
He-
Cottonmouth looked like a cottonmouth.
Yeah, he is that guy, and not every birthday, but a lot of his birthdays, I'll like go out and I'll like find people who they actually like are collectors or whatever,
hmm
and then they have like the old ass comics from like the 60s, 70s, and all that, and they're actually selling them, and I'll buy them off of them, and I'll give it to them like as a birthday.
You are the sweetest son in the world. Um,
I
but
appreciate
so
it.
like, okay, so like, did you watch a lot of movies with your folks and like,
Yeah.
just like I bet you was like a baby. He was reading the Flash to you, like he was like,
So my like fondest memory was through gaming.
gaming.
So when I
Oh, y'all
was
played
5 years
together.
old, huh?
Y'all played together, like
Yeah,
game. Okay,
that was like kind of where the nerdiness started. So I know that you remember the Nintendo Advantage system.
Advantage. I do not.
Yeah, that was like, I want to say that was the very first one. It's like gray and black with the little square controllers,
Oh,
and they
that one.
had
Okay, okay, all right.
that one. That was the very first console that I ever touched. The very
Damn.
first game that I ever played was like when they had, it was Super Mario and Duck Hunt were on the same little disc cartridge.
I
Like that
hated
was the
Duck Hunt.
very first game.
I wanted to
Classic.
shoot that dog in the face. Don't laugh at me, dog.
Bruh, that was like such a classic game right there. But like that was the very first game that I had ever touched. And
Hey,
after
Silver's in the
that,
building.
oh shoot, my bad. But so my fondest memory was that, but also this was back when the first Doom came out, and my mom hated it because you remember back then it was
Yeah,
considered to be like a violent game,
right.
though it's a little
I know, right?
8 bit blood. Yeah, like look now at like something like Mortal Kombat 10, where they
Right.
literally rip people's spines out. Completely different time,
hmm
but she hated that. Like she hated that game in particular. So when she wasn't looking, he would sit me on his lap and he would let me play Doom. And I think that this was back when Windows 95 was like still like
Oh
a
gosh,
huge thing.
you got a good
Yeah.
ass memory, bro.
Hey, that was one of my fondest game memories, and I'm gonna hold on to it to the day I die.
hmm
But that should give you an idea of what we were working with
So like,
back in the day.
was your dad cool enough to like sandbag for you, or did he just straight whoop your ass if you played fighting games against him?
Um, From what I remember, he would just whoop my ass. That's what I remember.
You gonna do that to your boy too?
Probably, to be
Okay,
honest with
got to
you,
keep it.
probably.
Yeah, you gotta raise him, man. You gotta raise him strong.
Exactly. I all right, so like as I got older, then of course he also got older, so he strayed away from video games,
Mhm.
and I strayed towards them more.
Right.
So I do remember in middle school and in high school sometimes, like us either playing a fighting game or playing a sports game, and him getting pissed off. And I'm like, now you see what I was going
Right.
through when I was a kid, and you were like beating my ass because all right, so like between him, me, and my sister, we are all competitive as all hell.
Oh hell! I know game night at the house was just like
Why? Wow. And it ain't never been that type of thing to where it's like a sore sport type of thing, but I can say that we all three are like highly competitive. So like we
so.
won't
Smash
show it.
Brothers was like,
Wild. Wild, man. But I wouldn't trade those memories
no,
for
of
the
course
world
not.
though.
I mean, and that's and, that's what I kind of envy you about, man. Your family is like very close knit, and my apologies, this one kid you would always post like for the longest time. I thought he was a little girl because he had like a puff, but I
Oh, you
found
talking
out
about
that that's your male
Jeremiah?
cousin. But a recent photo of him, I don't know what you gave him, but like it looked like he had tears of joy because he appreciated it so much, and I just thought that was like really cool of you to like make that little kid's life. Was that like a gift that you gave him, or what?
What you were talking about the Baby Yoda?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's my sister's godson. Everybody think that he's my son and they think that he looks like me. I can see it, but I think that it's more of the hair because
Yeah, yeah,
I'm not related to him in blood, but my sister and his mom have been tight since like they were like really, really little.
yeah.
So they grew up together.
Hey,
So
shit, he's your family regardless. So,
basically, yeah. So so like we were just here like and we were watching a whole bunch of stuff because I babysit for him like for his sister sometimes. And we were watching various stuff from Spider-Man to The Mandalorian to Sonic the Hedgehog. Like I put him on so much stuff. So every time that he comes over, that's the first thing like that he wants to do. He either wants to watch
oh,
Batman or like he wants to watch The Mandalorian now. So, but that's my little buddy though.
hey, that's what's up, man. Hey, you stay in this life, man. Teach him right. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely,
Make sure you teach him to be proud of himself. All right. Make sure you teach him to love
definitely.
himself and his features. For
No,
real.
oh man,
And
most
don't
definitely. And
let
I'm like trying to get
these
that nerd
hueless
side out too.
motherfuckers. I'm sorry, folks. This is an edgy show. Don't let those hueless motherfuckers like take his confidence either. All right.
Oh nah, never that. Man, we
All
will
right.
quickly throw hands over that one.
so okay. So I'm gonna fast forward a bit, man. What made you get into cosplay and film? Like, what made you say, "Yo, like, I got a
Mm,
gift, and the world needs to see what I got to say about it." Like my expressions. Like, what made you put your foot down?
yeah. Um. So since it's a kind of a two-part question, then I'm gonna
Yeah.
kind of break it up a little bit. So as far as film, like I've always had like a huge interest in film, mainly the science fiction genre. But of course, back in I guess you could say my earlier years, back when I first got into it, we didn't really have too many like opportunities because now like over in Fayetteville, I think it is, yeah, like they have Pinewood Studios, which I used to work at back in 2016, but like from Pinewood to like them shooting a lot of the Marvel movies and a whole bunch of stuff down here now, we didn't have that back when I was in high school or like early college years. So, and I don't think the first film program that came to Georgia, don't quote me because I'm not complete sure, but I think this is right, was at Clayton State, which was
Okay.
the second college that I went to. So,
Oh wait,
I,
were you a failure like me? Because I went to Valdosta at first, but then I partied too hard and lost the whole scholarship, and I had to come to Clayton. Like, is that your
damn.
story?
Nah, so
Oh,
I
okay,
I actually
shit.
went to Georgia Perimeter College. Now it's Georgia
Georgia State.
State now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I graduated from there right when they changed it.
Okay.
And I got my first degree there in business administration. And then I was like, I want another one. So that following summer, I started at Clayton State, and I was just flipping through because I was like, all right, so I know that I want to do something else. I already went for like a degree that's a universal type. Now I want to go for something that I'm passionate about.
Yeah.
I was just scrolling through the Clayton State site or whatever, and I came upon, oh, they got a new film program. Like, it's the first time that I've ever seen something like that
Yeah.
in Atlanta. So I was like, man, let me go on and take advantage of this. So I was one of 12 people who were the first in the program, and I
Oh.
graduated in 2018. That was my second,
Hey. So you was the experimental squad.
basically, yeah. So like we got the ups and the downs of the film program.
Mm-hmm. Because obviously, yeah, y'all was probably like underfunded and stuff, right?
I think so. I'm not completely sure, but you might be right though.
So like, okay, so like, so you say you always like movies, so
Yeah.
and so yeah, because your Flash short film was really good. Like I liked
Oh
it.
man, thank
And,
you.
you know, and it's like I'm like, damn, I'm still waiting on some more. So like with
Man,
so with the cosplay, man, like what's that about? Like why you dressing up like heroes? You fucking nerd. Like
so the start to my fucking nerdum. Um, I would say it was 2014.
okay,
Oh shit, hold on. Oh, my bad. So, in 2014, my homie Brian took me to my first Dragon Con.
your first
Now, I
Dragon
had
Con.
heard, yeah. Now, I had heard of like cons and all that stuff. I was aware that people did cosplay, but I didn't really know too many people in my circle who they kind of did it. So, it wasn't really something that was always just in my face like it is now. So, coming up in 2014, my homie Brian was like, "Hey, do you want to go and check out Dragon Con?" And I was like, "I keep hearing about it like for the last few years, like I kept hearing about it." So I was like, "Man, let me go and finally see what it's about." So we rode the Martyr down there, and man, straight off the Martyr, I was just overwhelmed. Like that was just probably one of the most beautiful experiences that I've ever seen in my life, really. Like just
Yeah,
seeing so many nerds and like so many people who are out there
right,
like me, who they actually took this like seriously. Because you remember back in the day, if like you were into this stuff, like
right. You was a
then
loser.
you got
You
picked on,
was.
bullied.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
And you know,
yeah.
you went to school in Clayton County too, right?
So I went in Henry County. So
Henry,
I went to Eagles Landing.
the Eagles landed. So you know, like
Yeah.
was that nerd shit acceptable in Eagles
I
Landing?
mean, it depends on what circles you were like with. I did get bullied as a kid, more so in middle school than in high
Mm.
school. Like, not to say that it didn't happen in high school some, but it was just a lot more in middle school because I was always that kid who was carrying around his Game Boy, playing Pokemon, or I had a deck of some Yu-Gi-Oh cards on me like at all times. That's just
Yeah.
who I was really. So, and I feel like that kind of came with the territory, and
Oh
it shouldn't
God,
have had.
you was one of them niggas that actually knew how to play too. So you was like, ugh,
Mhm.
disgusting. Like I just had the cards. I didn't know what the fuck to do with them.
Bro, all right. So when it came to Pokemon, I didn't know how to play. I just had the cards.
Yeah.
When it came to Yu-Gi-Oh, I knew what I was doing. I was one of those nerds who was up at 9 o'clock going to Books a Million on a Saturday mornings to go and like to go to the little tournaments and everything.
Yeah.
That's who I was, like that type of nerd. But
So like at your first con, did y'all
mhm.
meet celebrities at your first con? Did y'all get some autographs?
I don't think so. At our like first con, all that I can remember was like meeting like some really dope cosplayers. And it was like I said, I just really felt like I was just in a completely different universe there. Like, and I was kind of like, damn, I'm into all this stuff. Why am I not participating?
Right. Yeah.
And I had a blast, but that really bothered the hell out of me. And I told Brian, like, I was like, man, I ain't coming back to no other con unless I start
Unless you,
cosplaying.
yeah, my first con, I actually cosplayed, but like it was barely recognizable. You played rival schools?
Robin schools? I don't
Yeah.
think. Mm-mm.
Okay, well, I was one of the teacher characters on there. He was basically like a Ryu clone, but he was like a nerdy like teacher.
Got
But
you.
that's what's up, man. Like, yeah, that like they're saying in the chat, man. It's always like that. That first con is always so beautiful. Like, like my first Nerdcon was MomoCon, and that was back when it was at the Omni Hotel. I want to say that
Yeah,
was 2012 because that's when the Archer panel came. But I
yeah,
tell you, dog, that Sunday, like when it was time to go, I was like, it's time to go. Like, you know what I
bruh.
mean? Like, I was sad.
And I know that feeling
Like,
all too well. Like that's how I feel every Monday at Dragon
I know,
Con.
yeah, come back to work pissed off. Like, man, I don't want to look at y'all.
Like I hate going back to the real world once the sun is over.
So you said you started in 2014, so you've been cosplaying for 6 years. So
Hmm.
within that 6 years, I mean, look, this is not even a question because unfortunately I had to see that
Hmm.
fuckheaded ass comment under your Robin. That really ticked me because
Oh,
you're
which one
such a
you
nice
which one you talking
person,
about?
nigger Robin.
Oh,
That racist mother. Because you're such a cool guy. You don't deserve that.
thank you, man.
But
Yeah.
like what was like did that fuck with your self esteem? Having to deal with did you have to take it as heavy as the women? Like
I mean, I would like say no, and this is just me like speaking like from my personal types of experiences. Of course, being a black man in America, I have had my fair share of experiences with some racist bastards. Like that's just our life's like what would be like a term for it? Like that just comes with it and it shouldn't have to, but this is America,
right.
so
Cause I be
but
looking at K Bear's threads, I be ready to fight everybody. Like
bruh,
she's fine as hell. Why y'all doing her like this? And plus she's nice too.
bruh,
Like if you ever met her.
yeah.
But
So
yeah, go ahead, man.
and it's the reason why I feel like that at this point it doesn't bother me. It's because I have no filter when it comes to the clapback. As I'm
Yeah,
sure you have seen in a mini comment section, that I have no problem with
yeah,
destroying somebody's livelihood for being racist.
yeah. Cause I remember this one time, like it was years back, man. I don't know if this girl was Italian or what, but you had a status on Facebook, like, and
Hmm.
this had nothing to do with what you was talking about, but she just typed in like something about nigga this, nigga that, and I was like, what?
I think I know what you're talking about
Where did
too.
that come from? But
Yeah.
yeah, y'all jacked her ass like through the fucking mud though. That shit was nice. But
Like, and I just feel like that's like why it doesn't bother me as much. Like, yeah, like it'll make me feel some type of way because I shouldn't have to put up with this. Like, nobody should, especially black women. Like, they don't do nothing to nobody.
right,
Why are they like the most hated in this country
I don't know,
when they
man.
literally built this country on their own back?
I know, right?
Like, like that just don't make sense to me. But if I ever see somebody that is disrespecting another black cosplayer, then I hop hop in that shit too,
Mm-hmm.
bruh. I don't care. I have a zero tolerance for any type of sexist, racist, like homophobic person, bruh. They can all get the smoke, bruh. Like
And
I don't care at this point.
so like I'm skipping around a bit, but like so I guess like as a male in the cosplay community, do you feel like a certain obligation to like kind of like use your status as a male to be like, hey, bro, what the fuck you doing? Like, stop it. You know what I mean?
Man, definitely. And I always say that because I feel like if we don't look out for each other, then who will? And I'm not the only one that's in this. So why wouldn't I just extend a hand out there to, like, kind of help somebody who they may not need it? Because, like, let's be honest, like, there are some people who they might be too shy to fight back or too afraid to fight back.
Right.
And if I have that power to where I can uplift them and I can either take them out of that mindset or I can fight that battle for them, then I have no problem with doing that.
Okay. Yeah, because it's tough. Like, I mean, like, I guess, like, in your experience going to cons, like,
Mm-hmm.
was there ever like an IRL confrontation that you had to have, whether it was with, like, just a guy being creepy with the women or some douche being a racist dick? Like, was there a moment where you had to confront somebody, or was it like, everybody was cordial in
Actually,
public?
actually, there is one that I can recall. It was at MomoCon, and this guy was getting like a little bit too handsy
Mm.
with a friend of mine.
Oh, hell.
So we were recording some type of funny video, and she asked me, so I had consent. She asked me to grab her butt for the video,
Yeah.
and it was just for the video, nothing sexual, like just something funny. And I did it. He didn't really know her, but he thought since I did it that it was okay. And that caused like this huge problem because he didn't know that it was just me. It was like me and five of my other homeboys who were standing behind me who had saw it. But long story short, that did not end well. No hands had to be thrown, but
But y'all told him to get the
he
fuck
don't he
on.
don't come around no more though. So we'll leave it at that.
So, like, and, and I noticed, like, the cosplay community, like, y'all somewhat do a good job of policing each other, because I know
Yeah,
y'all, if y'all know about it, I know y'all do, like, kind of spread the rounds, like, hey, this
yeah.
photographer, he's kind of a creep,
Mm-hmm.
man, don't
Yeah.
go to him. Hey, this cosplayer, she did blackface, tell her to go fuck herself.
Oh, that's
Um,
the big one, boy.
especially in the Asian countries, my goodness.
And it's funny because they like feel comfortable behind a keyboard, but will never come to a con like that
Oh, of
though.
course
And
not.
that's very telling.
Like, I wonder too, like, the person who said nigger Robin, like, will you say that to your face?
Right? Come on now, right? Like, man, folks feel more comfortable behind a keyboard. But when they get in person, it's a whole different situation, always.
But
And
yeah,
I've always noticed
yeah, man, duck step your ass home,
that.
nigga. But how has COVID-19 affected your activities and your hobbies? I mean, like, obviously
Man,
y'all had to adapt. A
yeah,
lot of cons were canceled, so
yeah. Sadly, I'll like put it like this. I'm tired of being in this house, but at the same time, I'm not because
right,
I'm safe. I know that my family is like safe and everything. Um, we've gotten even closer because we've had to spend more time with each other, so that's
right,
another good thing. Um, no stress due to con crunching because I've had time to, like, get all of my stuff ready for, like, so when cons do open back up,
mm.
all of my props are finished. I'm working on some like armor builds. I won't have to con crunch because I've had so much time to basically work.
Hey, that's a good way to look at it. Like, all the cosplayers
Yeah,
probably like, well, hey, fuck it, let's use this lockdown to just build, 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 build. And
exactly.
I saw you drop the teaser with the fucking Green Ranger dagger, so I can't wait to
Yeah,
see what you do with that.
that's
Um,
one of them
th-
that I've been working on.
still waiting on the Spike Spiegel, man. Still waiting on that.
Oh, that one, and I also want to do Mugen because folks have been begging me for that one for like three
Yeah,
years
I can
now.
see that. Unpopular opinion, I fucking hated Mugen. I actually want him to
Really?
fucking yeah, because, like, when you figure out, like, the reason why them niggas had a problem with it, I'm like, yeah, He's a
Yeah.
fucking dick. Fuck him. And plus,
Okay,
he
that
couldn't
makes sense.
read. Like, don't let him reproduce. This nigga, he's illiterate. No, I'm just kidding, man. I'm just
Yeah.
being. Shoot, man. Let's see. I'm a good little political with you, man. You know this
Alright.
election's been pretty hectic, but I'm not gonna talk about the election. I'm gonna talk about. I got an unpopular opinion.
Okay.
Iron Fist casting. There's nothing wrong with it. All right, he was white in the
Mm-hmm.
comics, so
Mm-hmm.
why not make him white on the show? Like, what would be your take? Because I know you was part of the group of people that like, oh my god, why didn't they make Danny an Asian person? What the fuck? But I want your opinion because you're actually familiar with Iron
Yeah.
Fist. You're not like the idiots who just assumed Iron Fist was Asian just because it's kung fu. So
Yeah.
what's your argument? Why should Danny have been Asian on TV?
So I'm all right. So I'm like kind of split on that, and I'll tell you why. So I get why they did it for the Netflix show,
Mm-hmm.
and it's because it's more so on the comically accurate side.
Yeah,
But for the actual comic, of course he should have been Asian. And I mean, like,
just because it's kung fu though.
not like really just because it's kung fu, but I feel like that was a moment for their representation to like
Mm.
kind of shine. And I mean, how many white antagonists do we have? Like, don't get me
Protagonist.
wrong. I mean,
Yeah,
protagonist. You're
yeah.
right.
There we
Thank you
go.
for that. Thank you for that. Like there are so many, and I'm not really complaining that it's so many, but at the same time, it's like there is a world full of heroes, and most of them don't look like white men. Like, let's
Yeah.
just be completely honest.
I mean,
So
yeah, those
I
cowards got to
feel
put Anansi on TV. Like,
so like it's like kind of split, and it's because I'm that type of person to where I get why they change certain things in the comics, and I'm never like going to be that type of person who each brand new thing like I have a problem with it. No,
right.
I'm like very very picky when it comes to that. But I'm also that type of person to where I'm like, if it doesn't need to be changed,
Right.
don't don't like kind of just change it just to pander to a certain demographic. Like, you don't have to do that. But at the same time, some changes make a lot of sense.
Mm-hmm.
They make some stories way more interesting, and
Right.
I'm down for it.
And
But
some
if it
changes
don't work, it
don't
don't
kill
work.
anything. Yeah, and some changes don't kill nothing.
Yeah,
Because you seen people losing their mind over Starfire.
yeah. Which
But I'm like,
which
Starfire's a
don't make
fucking
sense.
alien though. Like, who cares if it's a black? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And this gonna
and
lead to my next question: is blackwashing a thing?
oh hell no,
But
bruh.
hold on now, wait a minute. There's some white characters that y'all. Now I will say though, like Heimdall. Would you say
Mhm.
that's blackwashing? Because is
What
there a Black Norse god like Heimdall, whatever? Like, well, I think that's the character's
that
name.
I'm
Idris
not sure.
Elba's character on Thor, like, cause Norse is like Norse mythology is pretty fucking white. So I mean,
Yeah,
I was kind of, but yeah, like, so why isn't blackwashing a thing?
I don't really think that it's a thing, and it's because most of the time that like I have seen it done,
Mm-hmm.
it's a character that like people really, and I don't want to say didn't care for, but it was that character to where they were kind of like sidelined,
Right.
and they ended up being a shit ton better in live action with a switch, whether it was a race switch or it was a gender switch.
Gender,
Like, hey, if it works, then it works,
yeah.
man.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's just the way that I pretty much look at it. If it works, then it works, and if it doesn't, then it doesn't. Because there are certain situations to where they do try to make changes and they do try to pander to certain artists, and it doesn't work. So I'm like kind of split on there because I feel like It just depends, really. Like,
Okay.
I don't really feel like there is a yes or a no to that type of situation. It just really depends.
All right. Cool. Cool, man. That's a good answer. Now I'm gonna ask. Now I'm gonna have to. This is probably gonna be a hard one, but well, actually, you probably answered this question, so forgive me for repeating. What was your first comic book that you owned?
Whoo, first one that I owned.
Right. Come on, dig deep, buddy.
Damn. Oh, okay. First one that I owned. That's a hard one. I can like tell you the first one that I read.
Okay, what's that?
The Ultimate Spider-Man comic book series.
Oh, no, like you read the whole thing, like the whole
Yeah,
series.
that was the very first series that I read, and then I started to backtrack because, of course, like my dad or whatever. So then I started reading more like Silver Age stuff, like Silver Age Flash and Silver Age Batman. But yeah, Spidey was like my very first comic book series that I ever like just dove into, and I was like, fam, this shit is amazing.
Okay, so who would you say is your favorite hero?
I have a lot of those.
But who do you think about the most? Who just gets your dick hard? Like, just as a superhero, just like
On the Marvel side, it's Spider-Man.
Spider Man.
On the DC side, it's a switch up between Wally West Flash and Bruce Wayne Batman.
Bruce Wayne. Okay, who's your favorite author in the comic genre?
Hmm. It's another hard one.
All right,
'Cause I
yeah, because
definitely
you actually follow it, so you know authors. I'm gonna ask you another hard one after this one.
Okay, so it used to be Jeff Johns, but after all of his shit, fuck him now.
What did he do
Um,
wrong? But
man, we would be here an extra
okay,
hour.
all right, all
We would
right,
be
all
here an
right,
extra hour.
all right. But
Um,
yeah, who's that second
so
one?
I would say between Grant Morrison and Scott Snyder.
Scott Snyder. Okay, okay. Now you ready for you ready for a real tough one?
Oh shit.
Who's your favorite illustrator? Like, do you look at that? Like, do you look at credits
hmm
like that? Okay.
hmm I'm gonna say I've ripped that is Jim Lee just because his style, like he literally has his own artistic style. But I've been paying attention a lot to, I don't know how to pronounce his name. Like I think it's Jeff Fa Fabok. I think it's Fabok.
Oh, okay.
I think that's how you say it.
Who's he know? Who's he most known for illustrating?
His recent work was the Three Jokers,
The Three Jokers.
the last Jeff Johns storyline, and if I remember right, he might have done the art for the Lightning Saga for Justice League. I'm not, don't quote me on that one,
Okay,
but
I
I
won't.
think he did
Hey, you know a lot more about this comic shit than I do, so I mean.
Man, I have been living and breathing gaming, comics, and anime for all of 24, 25 years now. So like as you can see my wall, like that's
Yeah,
behind
hold on.
me.
Yeah. Show off the room, kid. Let them know. Let them see your
Man.
gear, man.
Like, and I got the Buster
Oh,
Sword that's
it's
over there.
tell my thug niggas on my Instagram. Please don't try to rob him. Okay, they believe in the Second Amendment, and he knows martial arts. It is not a good look for you. Okay, he can 3D print a
Oh,
gun. Okay, he knows how to do it.
oh, we are all strapped in this house. So they won't get that far.
So, man, I want to touch on your you know, you mentioned you did jujitsu, correct?
So my cousin like kind of got me into it. I was working with this one teacher. I think that was like, what area was that? Off of 221 that's close to dang, what is the exit? Jonesboro Road, I want to say that it is. And I started kind of like training with him a little bit, but then I recently moved, and I want to say that was August 2018. So I'm currently I was currently
Oh, so you're
um
rusty.
very,
Okay,
and I
so
was trying
my
to
wrestling can
find
take you down. Cool. All right.
probably
Nah, man, it's all good. It'll come back to you.
man. So I'm currently looking for a new dojo, excuse me, to basically train at. But of course, due to COVID, that's been
Right.
near to impossible. And I'm pretty sure
Fucking
like that there are
COVID.
some, huh?
I said fucking COVID and this
Man,
orange Cheeto who didn't do what the fuck he was supposed to do.
that shit has ruined
After
everything.
COVID lifts, what'll be the first con you hit? Like
Oh, that'll be MomoCon. Like that's
Momo,
always my
yeah.
first con of the year is always Momo. So that's where I really show off like the brand new shit.
Mm.
And then after that, I gotta show some love to my peoples, and I go to Virginia for BlurredCon.
I gotta hit that. I've never been there yet.
Yes,
I've
you
never
do,
been there.
fam. I'm all right. So I just want you to picture this: a nice ass venue with food from all over, with a shit ton of glorious black cosplayers. And there's
Now
a
I
lot
heard,
of other races there too, but
yeah,
it's probably like 85% black.
yeah. I heard they have a spades tournament that you can win some money from. Is that true?
I wouldn't be surprised. I would not be surprised.
I
Bro.
heard there's a dog fighting there too, and crack cocaine. And,
Now that I don't know nothing about. Hey man, you're not gonna get me in trouble with that.
for
No.
all my kids out there that's younger than 29, you see, crack cocaine. That's a racist dog whistle. Okay, like if people mention crack, they're talking about black people. But
Nah, like,
but
now I can say this though. When I walked into the dealer room, they had a barber set up.
Oh
Niggas was just
hell, of
lined up
course,
and
of
getting
course.
shapes and bruh.
Cause
So that should give you an idea of how black and proud this con is.
most deaf. And man, we got like 13 more minutes in here. So I'm gonna
Okay.
ask. That's when I'm gonna bring out the real fun questions now. You ready?
All right.
So
Shoot.
besides the nerdy stuff, I mean, come on now. When you and your bros go to cons, y'all be on
Yeah.
the prowl, like you know what I'm saying, like, cause like I know like trying to pick up girls at cons, man. It's like for me like when I go to MomoCon, it's like I have to wait until like at least after 5 o'clock because most of the chicks like before then be like young as
Young.
fuck anyway, and like
Mm-hmm. Yep.
it's like, but like late night. Come on, man. Y'all be on the
Yeah.
prowl. Y'all be on the
Man.
prowl.
All right. So I'm
Come
gonna
on.
put it like this. There has been cons sometimes, not all the time, but there is sometimes to when I'll go and I'm rooming with a woman that I'm talking to. If
Face about to do sleep.
Yes. So if that's the case, then I'll let my boys proud and I'll watch. But if all
Hold on,
of
hold
us,
on, hold on, hold on, hold on. You say you'll
wait,
watch,
wait,
so
wait.
you're into that voyeur shit, huh?
No, 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 no,
Okay, okay. I was like,
no,
man, what
no,
type of
no,
freaking shit y'all
no,
into?
that ain't what I'm thinking. No, no, no. So I will watch in regards to I'll just watch them Mac or whatever,
Oh,
or like
okay,
them
okay.
pick up chicks, and I'll be with her like caked up or whatever, like cool.
That's lame as fuck, man. She was supposed to like, you supposed to let her know, like, hey, there's some shit you gonna see. You're gonna have to get cool with. Hey, there's this Wonder Woman cosplayer that's coming up, man. If you would, you know
Yeah,
what
you try to get me fucked up out here.
I'm saying? Shit, because I know you one homeboy, man, the one that dresses as Hawk, man. I know he ain't got no problem. Like, I
Keith,
mean,
nah,
I just, huh?
he been in a relationship the
Oh,
past,
okay, okay.
I want to say 2 years now. So
Oh yeah, that girl said, "I'm gonna lock this nigga down. Fuck this."
basically. But it's been like plenty of cons that I've gone to where it's just me chilling with the boys. And if it's that type of situation, I'm not the type of person to where I'm just out there and I'm just looking for any
Right.
in like each woman. Like I'm like very
Come on, man. She got 2 legs, man. That's a go.
nah. Nah. STDs are a thing, man.
I mean, just hit the ones you know. Be like, hey, girl, we've been going. Nah, just fucking with you,
This
man.
man about to give me in so much
That's how you
trouble.
get me too. But nah, man. But like, it's like, I mean, kind of like, people who go to cons for that,
Mhm.
they get a bad rap, but that's just because, unfortunately, the people who usually do it are the creepy motherfuckers who try to go
Creepy, yeah,
after the 15-year-olds and
exactly.
shit like that, or trying to spike drinks. I've been hearing about that at the hotel parties, man.
That's what
With
I was
some
about to
niggas
say
with
next.
the quaaludes and shit.
I actually know a couple people who have
Expose
unfortunately
them.
been roofied.
Oh, okay.
No,
I thought
no,
you were
no,
talking about. I thought you were talking about the.
no,
Oh,
no,
okay.
no. Hell no, because they would not be friends of mine doing no shit like that. No,
Okay,
no, no.
okay, okay.
Like I actually know a couple people who have been victims of that type of situation.
And that's fucked up, and they should not have been.
Exactly. So that definitely happens there. Like, and I don't get it, man. Like you like came there to have a good time. If
Just to
she's
fuck someone else's
interested,
life. Like, you know what I mean?
yeah. And it's like, fam, if she is interested, she'll let you know that.
Hmm.
Like, why stoop so freaking low to
And it's
like
like, you
do that?
got the biggest icebreaker in like, you're at a Nerdcon. This fucking, hey,
And
I
it's not
play
that
Legend of
hard.
Zelda too. You know?
It is not that hard. Like, I have literally seen some dudes who are like outside of cons, like they're very secluded, like they don't get no type of play. And this is not me making fun of them, like they
Right.
just
Yeah.
don't put
That's,
themselves out there.
hmm
But at the con, like these dudes know how to build some shit.
yeah.
And they'll put that shit on and they'll slide up into the con and chicks will
Hmm.
be all up on them.
Yeah, if you got
And
some
I'm
good
like,
cosplay,
yeah. Like it ain't that hard, fam.
you
Like
know?
there are some like women who are
Hmm.
turned on by the artistic type.
Yeah.
It is not that hard.
Yeah, man, because shit, like, like, yeah, yeah, man, this Iron Man, it took me like 6 months to make.
I
But shit, hey,
bet you that's
I
the
can roll a
same
blunt
with
with
you.
my eyes closed, baby. But but yeah, but that's because like when I went to AWA or whatever, I was like, yeah, like we're all adults, so like,
Mm-hmm.
and like let's be real, like if I see a Starfire cosplay, I'm going after it. I don't care if she with somebody. You know what I mean? So like your one friend.
Who?
I think one of your friends was dressed as Starfire like one year, or she could have been someone else. I'm not sure.
I was with the Starfire last year, Sonora cosplay. Like
Mhm.
that's who I took my photos with when I did Robin. That was an example of I was talking to somebody at the con who I was with, so I couldn't just be out there like just
Yeah, just
doing the Mac thing.
yeah. There was another cosplayer. I thought you guys were dating, but y'all weren't. It was fuck y'all had that cool picture. It's like y'all weren't necessarily anybody, but y'all was dressed as like heroes, and
Mm-hmm.
it looked like y'all was sitting on a rooftop, like you know what I mean.
Sitting on the rooftop, and she was a Starfire.
No. Y'all weren't dressed as anybody specific, but y'all had like
Oh,
hero looking
oh
costumes
wait,
on.
you talking about Asia?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
man, that's my
But
girl. We
look, I ain't gonna lie to you, dog. Like I clicked on her name so quick, I was looking through that Facebook, like, yeah. But
nah.
it's like, but yeah, I
So
thought
I
y'all
went
was
to New
dating,
York.
man. But
Man, everybody says that because I had went to New York in 2019, and she wanted to do like this gothic themed shoot, and I was like, hell yeah, I'm down for that. So I took the train, and I'm fresh to New York, so I'm just learning about all this
oh,
stuff.
I bet niggas will push your ass out the way, move you dumbass southern
Nah,
nigga.
nah, like It was all right. So in certain areas it was packed, but I never really had that problem too much, and I expected that to happen too. But
Yeah,
it didn't really happen too much. Like the only like thing that I heard happens that I can confirm happens is down here in the South, like if like you make contact with somebody, like you give
you
them that
better
head
say hi.
nod,
Yeah, you
yeah.
better speak.
In New York, they will look at you like something is wrong with you. And I'm
Hmm.
like, I was just saying, hey, fam, like it's not that serious.
Right.
So I can confirm that it's very real.
Okay. Okay. Shoot, man. That's Shoot, man. We got 5 more minutes in the spot, man.
Okay.
Man, just shout out your socials, man. Where can people find you?
Oh yeah, you can find me on Instagram.com/Aquarius taught me. That's all one word. Facebook.com/Aquarius taught me cosplay. My Twitter is at the uncanny UNCANNY mix MIX. What other socials do I got? I think that's about it, really.
Man, you better
Uh,
shout your cloud. You better shout your SoundCloud out. Your
man,
calendar.
you know I
Man.
ain't got my list.
You know you got some trap music. I'm just kidding. But shoot,
Nah,
man.
that is not my road.
Man, thank you so much for joining us,
Man,
Keenan. Man,
anytime, bro.
you definitely yeah, man, you're definitely a blast, man. I wasn't expecting you to get this candid about the being on the prowl, actually, because like I had Silver on, and I wanted to ask her these questions, but she's so wholesome, and I just feel bad about asking her that stuff. But I will ask you something
Oh,
else.
wait, hold on.
Well,
No, Sassy, I don't have a TikTok, sadly.
I'm gonna ask you one more. Well, it might turn. Have you and a partner ever had sex in your cosplays? Like, did you like
No,
leave the
but
Robin
that's
mask
next on my
on?
list, though.
Come on, nobody had.
None.
Man, I'm gonna ask Silver that next time too. So Silver, be prepared for this
Damn.
question. I mean, I'm just saying, man. It's like, hey, Starfire, just like push that shit to the side, man.
Bruh, I have I have mentioned it, and some of the women, well, most of the women that I've talked to have been into it, but the opportunity has never arisen though. But that's next on my list. That is a number one that I have to fulfill, especially because I remember when I posted my Robin cosplay, like the first time, like it was a couple days before Dragon Con, and so many women were like saying, like, "Oh, you can break my neck," and a whole bunch of other wild stuff. And I'm like, y'all say this, and I tell y'all that I'm interested, but the time just never happens. So if somebody trying to kidnap me at a con and make this happen, please, please do it, okay?
Yes, ladies, please, please give Keenan all the box, like all the box, all that mouth too. Give him the mouth
This
too.
man about to get me in so much trouble.
Oh, you gonna get in trouble, man. You're a grown man. You gotta, you got needs. Okay, it's just like,
Hey, true that. True that.
you're celebrity status now. You got some rep. You got some rep.
A little bit.
Hey, you gotta show no mercy out here. But again, man, thanks for and just to leave us off, man. Do you have a favorite quote from a hero that you want to share, just to
Huh?
end it?
Man, I don't think so. Favorite,
Damn, man, like comic niggas usually
favorite
know these
quote,
type of things.
right? But it's like so many though.
Just choose one.
Favorite quote. Um, damn. I honestly don't know. I'm sorry.
That's good. That's cool, man. But shoot, man. Give the audience a recommendation, man. What new comic would you recommend right now? Like that's fresh out the market.
Fresh out the market, I
Hmm.
would say DC Metal. That's number one. This one isn't fresh, but it's still one of my all-time favorites. The Ultimate Spider-Man run, leading into the death of Spider-Man, and then after that, read all of Miles Morales because I've been reading Miles
Wow.
since he first came out.
Oh,
That's my second
oh
favorite
fuck,
Spider-Man.
man. It's like you keep bringing up some. Okay, all right, quick. Should they let? I agree that they should let Miles Morales say nigger, but I know,
Yeah,
they're gonna have some white authors like, yeah, nigga this, nigga that, nigga this. So it's like, but
pretty much. But he is half black, so he gets the card.
yeah, man, he's black enough to pick your cotton and Hispanic enough to, do your crops. I can say that because black people can't be racist. So, hey, let me let you off before you get fucked up out here, man. Hey, this is like I don't Keenan doesn't share none of my humor, man. He's innocent in this, all right?
I just like laughing, bro. You good? You
Hey,
good?
man, thanks for joining me. I really appreciate you, all right?
Man, I appreciate the love, man.
All right, stay safe out here.
All right, man. Same. Peace.
Peace.